It was a cold, moonlit night in the quiet suburban neighborhood of Willow Creek. Inside one of the modest homes, 16-year-old Emma sat in her dimly lit room, scrolling through her phone, trying to shake off the uneasiness that had been lingering all evening. She lived alone with her mom, who worked late-night shifts at the hospital. The silence of the house, broken only by the faint hum of the refrigerator, made her feel uneasy. But Emma reassured herself that it was just another ordinary night. Then at precisely midnight, a sharp knock echoed through the house. Emma froze. Who could it be at this hour? The knocks came again, this time louder and more insistent. Heart racing, she grabbed her phone and tiptoed toward the front door. She peered through the peephole and saw a man she didn't recognize, a middle-aged stranger with a weathered face and tired eyes.
"Who is it?"
Emma called out, her voice trembling. The man spoke, his voice calm but urgent.
"Please, I need to talk to you. It's important. You're in danger."
Emma's instincts told her not to open the door, but something in the man's tone stopped her from calling the police immediately. Instead, she yelled back,
"I don't know you. Leave me alone."
The man didn't move. Instead, he leaned closer to the door and said something that made Emma's blood run cold.
"I know about the man in your backyard."
Her breath hitched. Emma had heard faint noises earlier, but had dismissed them as the wind or stray animals. Now fear gripped her. Could this man be telling the truth? She quickly locked the deadbolt and turned off all the lights in the house. From her bedroom window, she peered into the backyard, and that's when she saw it. A dark figure lurking near the back fence. The man outside knocked again, this time more softly.
"Listen to me. I used to work in security. I know the signs. He's been watching your house for hours. Please, let me help."
Emma didn't know what to do. Should she trust a complete stranger? Should she call the police? Her fingers hovered over her phone, but before she could dial, the man outside spoke again.
"Turn off your porch light. It'll make it harder for him to see inside,"
he advised. Hesitantly, Emma followed his suggestion. The stranger then gave her more instructions, guiding her step by step on how to make her home appear unoccupied. Minutes felt like hours as Emma stayed on edge, her phone in one hand and a kitchen knife in the other. From her bedroom window, she watched the stranger walk slowly around the perimeter of her house, as if assessing the situation. Then he returned to the front door and spoke again.
"He's gone, but you need to call the police now. I'll stay here until they arrive."
Emma finally called 911, her voice shaking as she explained what had happened. The operator assured her that officers were on their way. When they arrived, the stranger was still standing by her front porch, his arms crossed as if protecting her. The police searched the area and found disturbing evidence: a pair of gloves, a knife, and a rope hidden behind the shed in her backyard. Whoever had been watching Emma had planned something sinister. Emma's mother rushed home after hearing what had happened, tears streaming down her face. She hugged her daughter tightly, overwhelmed with gratitude that she was safe. But when they turned to thank the stranger, he was gone. The police had no record of him, and none of the neighbors had seen him leave. It was as if he had disappeared into the night. Over the next few days, Emma couldn't stop thinking about the man who had saved her life. Who was he? And how did he know she was in danger? Weeks later, while cleaning out an old box of family photos, Emma stumbled upon a picture of her late grandfather, a man she had never met but had heard countless stories about. Her heart skipped a beat as she stared at the photo. It was him. The man who had knocked on her door that night looked exactly like her grandfather, down to the kind eyes and weathered face. Emma's mother was just as stunned.
"Your grandfather passed away years before you were born,"
she said.
"but he always told me he'd protect this family, no matter what."
Emma couldn't explain what had happened that night. Was it a coincidence? A guardian angel? Or something beyond understanding? One thing was certain: the stranger's timely intervention had saved her life. From that day on, Emma felt a deep sense of gratitude and an unshakable belief that she was never truly alone. Her story became a source of comfort and inspiration to those who heard it, A reminder that even in the darkest moments, there is light watching over us.